Good morning and a very warm welcome. You're watching JanataTelevision and this is the English Bulletin with me, Sushan Dhakal. The top stories first. Government confirms new strain of coronavirus in Nepal. 3 persons returning from the UK test positive for the new variant. The Dahal Nepal faction of NCP to begin all-out protest against Prime Minister Oli. Dissident leaders of ruling party warn of toppling the government. Central Committee meeting of Nepali Congress postponed yet again. The main opposition party preparing for mass protests on Thursday. FBI vetting guard troops in DC. The agency fears insider attack. And Arsenal continue their resurgence in the Premier League. Defeat Newcastle United by a scoreline of 3-0. And now the news in detail. The government has confirmed a new strain of coronavirus in the country. The Ministry of Health and Population yesterday confirmed a new variant of coronavirus among 3 people with recent travel history. Those infected had returned to Nepal from UK a few days ago. The government had taken samples of 6 travelers, out of which 3 tested positive. During the test, 3 samples tested negative for S gene, while the other 3 samples were sent to Hong Kong for further verification. According to the ministry, the samples tested in Hong Kong's lab confirmed the new variant of coronavirus. The infected persons include a 28-year-old woman, a 67-year-old elderly person, and a 32-year-old man. The recent PCR test reports of the young woman and man have turned out negative, while the elderly man is still infected with the virus. However, the ministry informed that the person has not displayed any symptoms of the disease. Coronavirus has claimed 6 more lives in the country, taking the death toll to 1,965. The government yesterday confirmed 322 new cases of coronavirus across the country. Following the latest round of tests, the total cases of coronavirus in the country have climbed to 267,644, while the number of active cases has dropped to 3,861. According to the Ministry of Health and Population, altogether 262,818 infected persons have recovered from the disease in the country so far. Nepal is currently among the top 42 countries that have been most affected by the pandemic. The USA tops the list with 24.61 million confirmed cases, followed by India with 10.58 million cases. Coronavirus has infected more than 95.97 million people across the world and claimed over 2.04 million lives. The Dahal Nepal faction of Nepal Communist Party has warned that they will go all out in their protest program from 29th of January to oust Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli from his post. Speaking at a mass gathering of the All Nepal Women's Association, Puspa Kamal Dahal, executive chairman of the Dahal Nepal faction of the NCP, warned that there will be a huge demonstration on January 22nd, followed by aggressive protest from January 29th to oust the Prime Minister from his position. He has blamed the PM for not just dissolving the House, but dismantling the Federal Republic and the Constitution of Nepal.
म भन्न चाहन्छु, म पत्रकार साथीहरूलाई पनि यो कुरालाई राम्रोसँग स्थापित गर्न अनुरोध गर्न चाहन्छु। केपी ओलीले विघटन गरेको संसद होइन। संसद विघटन गर्ने त उनलाई कुनै अधिकार पनि छैन, कुनै प्रावधान पनि छैन। उनले गरेको संविधानको विघटन र संघीय लोकतान्त्रिक गणतन्त्रको विघटन हो। त्यसकारण नेपाली जनता जसले 70 वर्ष लडेर ल्याएको यो उपलब्धि हो, यसको रक्षाको लागि एकचोटि फेरि सङ्घर्षको मैदानमा उत्रिनुको कुनै विकल्प हामीसँग छैन।
Dahal further added that there was no alternative but to go out on a full-fledged protest program now. He also said that the verdict of the people will help the Supreme Court and the Election Commission to make their decision quickly as well. Another chairman of the faction, Magh Nepal, informed that an official letter seeking clarification has been sent to the Prime Minister's official residence in Balwatar regarding his act of dissolving the lower house.
नेपालको संविधानले पनि तपाईलाई बाध्न नसक्ने तपाई त सबैभन्दा माथि भएको कहाँको नयाँ राणा कहाँको नयाँ तानाशाह कहाँको नयाँ अधिनायक तपाई बन्न पुग्नुभयो यो अधिनायक हामीले स्वीकार्य छैन तपाईको तानाशाही स्वीकार्य छैन तपाईको यो निरङ्कुश तरिका स्वीकार्य छैन.
The letter seeking clarification also contains stern warning to the Prime Minister regarding his position in the party. Nepal further claimed that the party and its official emblem belong only to the Dahal Nepal faction of the NCP. This is Janata Bulletin. We'll be right back after a short break. Welcome back after the break. We continue with other national news. The Central Committee meeting of Nepali Congress has been postponed yet again. The main opposition party was planning to hold the meeting today after deferring it last week. But the meeting has been postponed yet again by a week. The next meeting is scheduled for January 26th. The Central Committee meeting, which started from December 22nd last month, has been discussing the party's strategy against the government's move to dissolve the House of Representatives. Nepali Congress has termed the dissolution of lower house as unconstitutional and undemocratic. The main opposition party is currently holding second phase of protest. As part of its protest, NC will be holding demonstrations in 6,743 wards across the country this Thursday. Police have arrested a three-member gang involved in threatening the locals of Kathmandu for extorting money. According to the police, the goons were arrested in front of Bagbazar-based Model Hospital while they were trying to extort money. Those arrested include 19-year-old Pradeep Khatri of Dolakha, Melung, currently residing in Asan, and his friends Suraj Bhandari, 19, of Sailung, Dolakha, as well as 21-year-old Kiran Karki of Sailung. Kiran Karki has been currently residing in Karnaghari of Kathmandu district. Police informed that the arrested persons used to demand money from people using phone and SMS threats. Police have also recovered 5 SIM cards used by the gang to threaten different individuals. The Metropolitan Police Crime Division informed that the arrested persons have been detained at Metropolitan Police Circle, New Baneswar, for further interrogation. And now the news from the economic front. The Nepal Oil Corporation has decided to stop the import of petroleum products from the Roxol-based depot. The Indian Oil Corporation IOC has been citing security concerns for more than 2 years regarding the operation of the depot, stating that the IOC's concerns have been ever present regarding the security issue. The NOC has decided to stop importing petroleum products altogether from this depot. Arrangements have been made for petroleum dealers from Bara and Parsa who have been importing petroleum products from Roxol Depot to purchase fuel at the Nepal Oil Corporation's provincial office in Province 2, said Bineet Mani Upadhyay, spokesperson of the corporation. All billings will now be made from the provincial office of the NOC. It is said that the supply of petroleum products will be affected and the cost of the corporation will also increase until the Mahotari-Amlekganj petroleum pipeline is fully utilized or the IOC completes the infrastructural construction work of the Mahotari depot. In December, a total of 100,000 kiloliters of petroleum was imported from the Amlekganj depot, with 40,000 kiloliters from the Roxol depot and 60,000 kiloliters from the pipeline. And now some international news. US defense officials say they are worried about an insider attack or other threat from service members involved in securing President-elect Joe Biden's inauguration. According to the Associated Press, this has prompted the FBI to vet all of the 25,000 National Guard troops coming into Washington for the event. The massive undertaking reflects the extraordinary security concerns that have gripped Washington following the deadly January 6th insurrection at the U.S. Capitol by pro-Trump rioters. And it underscores fears that some of the very people assigned to protect the city over the next several days could present a threat to the incoming president and other VIPs in attendance, AP reported. Army Secretary Ryan McCarthy told the Associated Press on Sunday that officials are conscious of the potential threat. He also warned commanders to be on the lookout for any problems within their ranks as the inauguration approaches. So far, however, he and other leaders say they have seen no evidence of any threats. About 25,000 members of the National Guard are streaming into Washington from across the country, at least 2.5 times the number for previous inaugurals. You're watching Janata Bulletin, and now the latest from the world of sports. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang scored twice as Arsenal beat Newcastle to move into the top 10 of the Premier League. Aubameyang opened the scoring in the 50th minute, giving Arsenal the lead, after which Bukayo Saka side-footed the ball into the net 10 minutes later. The Gabon national then got his second and the Gunners' third and sealed the match for Mikel Arteta's men. Although he scored 22 goals in the Premier League last season, Aubameyang had struggled for goals this season. Yesterday's brace took his tally to just 5 for the season. For Arsenal, the 2021 campaign has been tough, with danger of having their worst Premier League season since 94-95, when they finished 12th. There have been recent signs of revival, and this win extends their unbeaten run to 6 matches. The Gunners are now 7 points off the top 4 places with 27 points from 19 matches, having played 1 more than the teams above them. We are at the end of Janata Bulletin, and the headlines once again. Government confirms new strain of coronavirus in Nepal. 3 persons returning from UK test positive for the new variant. Dal Nepal faction of NCP to begin all-out protest against Prime Minister Oli. Dissident leaders of ruling party warn of toppling the government. Central Committee meeting of Nepali Congress postponed yet again. The main opposition party preparing for mass protest on Thursday. FBI vetting Guard troops in DC. The agency fears insider attack. And Arsenal continue their resurgence in the Premier League, defeat Newcastle United by a scoreline of 3-0. And that's all from the English News Desk for today. You can follow Janata Television and our programs on various social media platforms, including on our website janatasamachar.com. Keep watching Janata Television. Namaste.